So, you know how Apple loves to shake things up? Well, the latest rumor swirling around is a big one. We're talking about a new MacBook Pro that could be way more than just a simple hardware update. It could be a total game changer for artists, musicians, and filmmakers. Let's dive in and unpack what this Creator MacBook might be all about.
Okay, so a new MacBook Pro is probably on the horizon. That's not exactly a huge surprise, right? We kind of expect that from Apple. But the whispers we're hearing suggest this next one, it might be something truly different.
And that's the real hook. The heart of this rumor is a machine that could come with a built-in, dedicated suite of tools, a secret weapon, if you will, just for creators. This could be a really massive shift in the creative landscape.
All right, so let's get right to it. What exactly is this rumored Creator MacBook?
So the big idea here isn't just a faster, shinier MacBook Pro. Nope. The rumor is that Apple's going to bundle it with a dedicated software package, a Creator Suite, giving you a complete hardware and software ecosystem right out of the box.
Now, before we all get way too excited, it's super important to take a step back and ask the big question. Where is this information even coming from?
So this whole thing kicked off with a report from a YouTube channel called IndustryIQ. And here's the thing. This isn't one of the usual well-known Apple leakers. That means we have to approach this with a pretty healthy dose of skepticism. Right now, it's totally unconfirmed. In fact, even the source itself says this info should be taken with a grain of salt. So as we get into all the juicy details, just remember, we're exploring a really cool possibility, not a definite confirmed product. This is all a big what if.
All right, disclaimer's over. Let's get to the really fun part. What could actually be in this so-called Creator Suite?
I mean, think about it. To pull creative pros away from the workflows and software they've used for years, this suite would have to be absolutely incredible. So what's supposedly in the box?
Well, the rumor points to a trifecta of creative power. First up, a totally revamped Final Cut Pro for all the video editors out there. Second, an upgraded Logic Pro for musicians and producers. And third, and this is the real head-turner, a brand new digital art application.
Okay, let's be real. That new art app is the real headline here. We're not talking about some simple little drawing tool. The rumor is that it's a full-on, professional-grade beast designed to compete directly with giants like Procreate and, of course, Adobe Illustrator. You know, if you've been in the Apple world for a while, this feels a lot like when they had Aperture for pro photographers. It feels like Apple is trying to reclaim that pro creative ground, and that would be a huge statement.
And that leads us to the bigger picture, the strategy. Why would Apple do this, and why now? This is about more than just selling laptops. It's a calculated move on the competitive chessboard. And let's not kid ourselves about who the main target is. It's Adobe. For decades, Adobe's Creative Cloud has been the undisputed king of the castle. But a move like this from Apple, it wouldn't just rattle Adobe. It would send shockwaves through the entire creative software industry. And this is where the showdown really takes shape. On one side, you have Adobe's Creative Cloud. It's the industry standard, it runs on pretty much everything, but you're paying that subscription fee forever. On the other side, you've got Apple's rumored suite. It could be a one-time purchase, which sounds amazing, but, and it's a big but, you're locked into their hardware. It's the classic walled garden. For a freelancer, that one-time cost could be a massive game changer for their budget, but for a big studio that needs to work across both Windows and Mac, that tight integration becomes a major hurdle. It's a classic trade-off. Do you want flexibility or a perfectly seamless workflow?
So, where does this leave us? What could this mean for the future? And when might we actually see something like this become a reality?
Well, according to the source of the rumor, this isn't some far-off dream. They're pointing to the second half of 2026 as the potential launch window for this new MacBook Pro and its Creator Suite. That's actually not that far away.
At the end of the day, if this rumor has any truth to it, the big takeaway is the potential for a seamless, powerful, all-in-one solution. I mean, just imagine hardware and software built from the ground up by the same company to work together perfectly. That's always been Apple's killer feature, right?
And that really leaves us with the million-dollar question, especially for all of you creators out there who are deep in the Adobe ecosystem right now. If Apple actually pulls this off, it gives you a powerful one-time purchase alternative. Would you be tempted to make the switch? It's a fascinating thing to think about.